Howdy guys, this is CoreCat13, that woman with the deep voice, and today we are starting up my next project. It's time for the Sega Genesis version of Mega Man 3. Now you may be asking yourself, why am I doing this version? Why this version over the NES version, which everybody knows? It really is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I kind of associate Mega Man 3 with the Wily Wars. It's often lumped in reviews together, so I figured it'd be kind of serendipitous if I did this version. Secondly, Mega Man 3 on NES, it's very incomplete. The game is notorious for being rushed. Believe me, it's yeah. Oh god, I don't want to even think about the Doc Robot stages and freaking ugh. But yeah, so Mega Man 3 on the NES, it had a lot of problems. The Doc Robot stages and the Wily stages were horribly imbalanced. There are graphical issues galore. And worst of all, one of the weapons barely works. So hence why I'm doing the Genesis version. Plus, this has a save feature, so let's go ahead and do this. I like how they actually remade each of the logos to better match Mega Man's actual logo from Japan, because, believe it or not, aside from it being called Mega Man, that's what it's always looked like in Japan. To be honest, I really do prefer it. Anyway, now we get one of the greatest opening themes of all time. God, that riff is good. I'm just gonna say it right now, Mega Man 3 out of the original 3 Mega Man games is my favorite soundtrack. It isn't my favorite soundtrack out of the 8-bit games. That still goes to Mega Man 9, but out of the original Hexology, well, okay, Mega Man 6 still takes the cake for that, but out of the original 3, Mega Man 3 is my favorite, man. I love Mega Man 2's soundtrack, but God, Mega Man 3 soundtrack rocks. It's such a bluesy soundtrack, and however, that's for a pretty good reason, as Mega Man 3 introduced quite a bit to the series. Introduced Mega Man Slide, introduced Proto Man. Anyway, yeah, here we are with the new selection of robot bastards, who were actually all created, with the exception of this guy. He was actually from outer space, but some of these robot masters were actually devised by Dr. Wily and Dr. Light, believe it or not, to collect 8 elements in order to power a peacekeeping robot named Gamma. However, they've gone rogue and we gotta put them down. And the first one on the hit list is, in my opinion, Magnet Man. You may have a different idea, but I always go with Magnet Man because this stage is the easiest one to take out with just your wits and arm cannon. Or I'm having to get used to the controls again because stuff. Well, there's my cough again. Had some coffee, tried to go down the wrong pipe. Anyway, so stuff and things. How are y'all doing today, by the way? It is the 13th of March 2023. So this episode will be going up tomorrow, the 14th, Pi Day. Which I think is just awesome. Following day, it's going to be a rather long day because I have a doctor's appointment on Friday, so... stuff. Anyway, right here is, the infamous Brakeman. You'll notice he doesn't do much. He's kind of ineffective, but that's for a reason. That's because Brakeman is simply testing Megaman to see if he is ready for the task. Mercy! I always hate when something tries to go down the wrong pipe. But yeah, so Brakeman is just trying to test Megaman to see if he's ready for the tasks at hand. Very similar to Meta Knight, the Kirby games. But yeah... as you can see with the Genesis presentation, yeah, the graphics are a lot better in this game than they are on the NES. I'm sorry, I will always prefer the Genesis version of the graphics over the NES version. Just, good lord, everything is so detailed, so good. Well, except for the magically appearing and disappearing blocks, these are about as annoying as ever, but, yeah. I'm gonna watch the pattern real fast. Though I find it very interesting that this is one of the only stages that has the blocks. The only other stage that actually has the magically appearing and disappearing blocks is Wily Wars, so... ah man, timed that too soon. I always time it either too soon or too late. But I did actually do a previous recording of this, so this is actually not the first time I'm recording this. However, I just was not satisfied with the initial recording of this, and to be honest, with episode 1 here, I'm not really all that satisfied either, but... I mean, I'm already doing a lot better than I was last time, so... yeah. Yeah, last time when I got to the Doc Robot stages, I did the unforgivable sin, and I used the rewind function! How dare I! I also fell into that pit of spikes, which I feel really stupid about, so... anyway, I'm just gonna keep going here. I hate these robots. Those robots that shoot the missiles are so irritating. Fortunately, you don't see them too often, but god, they're annoying. All the wires on the floor. But anyway, it's time for Magnet Man. Magnet Man's pretty simple. Also, it kind of looks like he has his hands out when he does that in the Genesis version. I don't know why. But he has a couple of attacks. He has a magnetic pull, where he's going to try to lure you in towards him. Or he's going to fire off 3 magnet missiles to try to hit you. Magnet missiles are pretty easy to dodge, but I'd say the hardest attack to dodge is probably his magnetic pull, because... reasons. Man, I'm doing a lot better this time than I was last time. Good lord. I'm actually landing a lot of hits on Magnet Man. Last time I was having issues just hitting him once I got past the halfway mark. So dumb. Anyway, what I'm doing here is Mega Man's slide mechanic. It's a pretty useful mechanic for getting away from your opponent. And it actually adds a lot to the level design because it means you can just kind of slide under low bearing areas. It's pretty neat. I don't know why, I always liked Mega Man 3's boss theme, so goofy. I'd say it's a lot more urgent than Mega Man 2's boss theme. But speaking of urgent, Magnet Man just died. I was actually kind of scared I would die to Magnet Man, but surprisingly not. I guess that nap really did pay off. Actually, yeah, like I said, last time my performance was fucking horrible. Like, seriously. In the initial recording of this, my performance in Mega Man 3 was just terrible. Like, I kept dying. I think it was probably because I just hadn't played Mega Man 3 Wily Wars in a while, so anyway, let's go ahead and save real fast. And our next opponent awaits, Hard Man, who's looking a lot better here in Genesis Land than he did in the NES. Like, let me tell you, he looks way better here than he does on the NES. He looks so stupid there. Oh god, the bees. Oh god, not the bees! Not the bees! That was my poor Nicolas Cage impression, in case you guys were wondering. These bees are annoying, but they're really good farming fodder in case you need to grab items or something. Anyway, Hardman stage features a lot of inclined surfaces, as well as these little bear traps that I find really annoying, as well as this game's equivalent of Sniper Joe. This is Knuckle Joe, or Hammer Joe. He's weak to the magnet missile, so hand him his ass. Hand it to him, and get out of here. This game also introduced Rush. And it's one of the things I kind of forgot about whenever I was kind of going through the things that Mega Man 3 introduced. Yeah, this game introduced Rush to the mix. And bless him for it. It's so damn good to have him here. Also, yeah, you remember those annoying fucking monkey robots from the last game? They're back. And for some reason they're wearing Gutsman's costume. I don't understand why. I shouldn't be using my magnet missile so liberally, but eh. Those robots are so annoying. Not these ones. These ones are pretty easy. Even the Mega Buster, they're pretty simple. I kind of want to use the magnet missile now. Yeah, because they always do that. They always hit me on the damn steps. I'm willing to let that one live, because, well, he's just there. Also, I like the added detail here on those robots. Like these hard hat robots that ride around on the dozers. They look a lot better in this game than they do in the NES version, because you can actually see their hands. You can actually tell what they're doing. Anyway, what I got there is an E-Tank, in case you didn't watch the Mega Man 2 playthrough. E-Tanks basically act as a full health restorer. In this game, they were nice enough to let you carry 9 of them. Very nice. And that will actually be, with the exception of Mega Man 7, that will be the case from here on out. You will be able to hold 9 E-Tanks. And like I said, bless them for it, because I can't tell you how often an E-Tank comes in handy. I think half a tank of magnet missiles should be okay. Also, hard hats! Ooh, extra life. Man, they are just handing them out extra lives this time, let me tell ya. Yeah, Hardman, in my opinion, is not hard enough to warrant a full tank of magnet missile, because he's one of the other ones you can take out pretty easily with the Mega Buster, so... Anyway, time for Proto Man. I always like when Mega Man does that, that's just so funny looking. Also, one of the funniest things about Wily Wars is the fact that they didn't scale Proto Man's sprite correctly. So he looks just the same as he does on the NES, and he's actually shorter than Iceman is in Wily Wars. And Iceman's actually the shortest Robot Master on record, so... I just find that more funny than anything. Get out of here. Thank God they give you a nice health restore there. And there's the obligatory large robot that must always be in a Mega Man game. They have really douchey placement for those robots, let me tell ya. Like in, I think one of the Wily levels, they have them in a really stupid position. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just use the Mega Buster. Yeah, for some reason, like, even if you jump with Hardman... Ooh, man, he's about to get me. It's that nice E-Tank. Magnet Missile! Yeah, see that? Even if you're in the air, he can still hit you. Or at least paralyze you. It's very strange. This is the awesome power of Hardman. He's so manly that he can freeze you in the air. It's awesome. And speaking of awesome, we get a new weapon! Hooray! Man, I'm just breezing through these stages this time around, let me tell you. I think I was like 20 minutes into the video last time, so... Man, I'm just rocking and rolling. Maybe we'll even get into Shadow Man's stage this video. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe I can actually beat this game in 4 parts. Last time it took 5, so... I don't know. Let's go ahead and save real fast. Let's go over to Derpy McGee's place. Man, quit pointing at yourself, you cocky son of a bitch. Now, out of all the stages... Oh, God, these things. Out of all the stages in Mega Man 3 that got the Wily Wars update, I find Top Man's to be kind of weird. Like, it's one of the weirder ones because I kind of prefer the more outdoorsy type place. Even though it doesn't really fit Top Man, like, I don't really know why he had kind of a outdoorsy place. But I do like the added tops in the background, that's really neat. And I just destroyed Top Man's cousin there. I've always called him that. He has a name, I just call him Top Man's cousin. Because that's who he is! He's Top Man's cousin. Kind of like Airman's cousin. From Mega Man 2. Who I despise with a passion. He actually comes back in Mega Man 7. Bold bastard, let me tell ya. I do like the remix of Top Man's theme in the Wily Wars. The one thing I actually neglected to mention in Hardman's stage is actually I kind of find Hardman's theme very strange in Wily Wars sound font. I don't know why, I just do. To me, it sounds like a ringtone, whereas this one sounds like a nice improvement on the original NES song. And get out of here. Get out of here with your bad self. Ah, the Catbot. I'm gonna go ahead and use magnet missiles on this guy. Even though this thing's weakness is actually the hard knuckle, I always use the magnet missiles on those guys just simply because I want to keep my hard knuckle in check. Because it takes 2 hard knuckles to destroy the Catbot, but it takes 5 magnet missiles to take care of them, so let's go with that. It's easier. Even though it doesn't really take that many hard knuckles to take out Top Man, this is just more satisfying to me. I don't know why. Magnet missiles are actually among my favorite weapons ever introduced in the Mega Man series. I don't know why. One thing I don't like about them, though, is the fact that they kind of just wander off after a little bit. Which is one thing I really wish they didn't keep in Wily Wars. But whatever. Let's see here. Try not to fall in the spikes, because that's easy to do. Now right here is a really good grinding spot if you really want to farm. I mean, we don't really need to farm, but sometimes you can get some really good shit here, like an extra life. Sometimes even an E-Tank. E-Tanks are really rare to get just as an enemy drop, but still. It is neat when it happens. So let's go ahead and get rid of Top Man's cousin there. He's a bastard. This part right here always makes me nervous. Even on the NES version, I always feel like I'm timing it too soon. And last time I did, so... Man, I am doing so much better this time than I was last time. I don't know what the hell was going on with me last time. But anyways, time for Top Man. The geriatric Michael Jackson of the bunch. And I'm going to go ahead and launch a top knuckle, or hard knuckle. I forget how many hard knuckles it takes to defeat Top Man. I think it's 4? Yep, 4. I didn't do a very good job dodging the tops he was throwing, but that doesn't matter because we get a new weapon. Hooray! And a weapon that got really, really fixed here in Wily Wars. Top spin. Yes, they actually fixed the top spin. Because the original NES version, its energy meter was very random. It depleted like nuts. And I have no idea why. The one thing I don't like about Topspin in this game is that they gave it the same color scheme as Elecman's weapon, the Thunder Beam, so... yeah. Anyway, on to Shadow Man's stage. I don't know, everyone really likes Shadow Man's theme. It's not one of my favorites. Honestly, out of all the stages in Wily Wars, this one's probably the most similar to its counterpart on the NES. I mean, the backgrounds are a little bit... man, they are just handing out lives, let me tell you. But yeah, the backgrounds are a little more detailed, but other than that, they really didn't change much here in Shadow Man's stage. Even the music's pretty similar. Although I guess Shadow Man's theme was already pretty simple to begin with, but yeah, whatever. The one thing I don't like about Mega Man's slide is that sometimes if you accidentally bump like the left or right, Mega Man will just slide in that direction. Whereas if Mega Man's just facing the direction and you hold down, then Mega Man will just slide in the direction you want him to. It's very annoying. I like these eyeball robots. These eyeball robots are funny. They're among my favorite Mega Man enemies, and they're just so simple. I like them. I like funny enemies like that. Now these light fixtures there, be sure you use the magnet missiles to take them out. Get rid of these fucking bombs, they're annoying. I do like that little chord progression that goes do 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 do. Obviously I'm doing it a lot faster than the actual chord progression, but anyway. But it's a decent little chord progression. Shadow Man's theme is one of those ones that, kind of like Hard Man's theme, which by the way, Hard Man's theme had to grow on me too, but Shadow Man's theme has grown on me over the years, but it's not one of my favorites. In fact, it's probably my least favorite out of all the Robot Master themes. God, I hate these frogs. These frogs are so annoying. Shadow Man's theme is surprising, or not theme, stage is actually pretty long. And the fact that we're just breezing through them is kind of nice. I keep expecting there to be Hammer Joes there, but I keep thinking of the Doc Robot stages, which are... yeah, anyway, I'm trying to... there's an exploit you can do where you can actually summon these annoying heads a little bit earlier than they're supposed to by walking up towards the edge of the screen, or to the edge of a platform. And if you don't, well, these robots get an opportunity to hit you, but they're so easy to take out anyway with the magnet missile that it doesn't even matter. When you swap back to the Mega Buster, and destroy these little dragonfly bots. Because why not? You can't have a Mega Man game without a decent little fly robot. We'll swap out with the top spin, and get our weapons ready because it's time for Shadow Man. The only Robot Master who actually has gained the awesome power to slide. But yeah, as you can see, unlike last time, the top spin doesn't waste any weapon energy. It's awesome! You can use the top spin as many times as you want, and the weapon energy meter does not deplete. About time. I like it. Mega Man looks so excited to get the Shadow Blades, and I don't blame him, because the Shadow Blades are fucking awesome. They're not quite as cool as... oh, nearly had a cough happen again. They're not quite as cool as the Metal Blades, but they're essentially the Metal Blades that boomerang back. You can't shoot as many directions, but hot damn are they a powerful weapon. Mega Man looks mighty fine in magenta. Man! Playing all the hits of the most annoying things I do in a video. But anyway, we took out 4 Robot Masters this video. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. I don't know about you. So, next time on Mega Man 3, it's time to take out Sparkman. See you guys then.